Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we will look at a really instructive attacking game in the Caro Kann played by Wesley So. Wesley, as many of you know, is a top 10 player in the world. He was in the top 10 forever. And this is a game he played last year in the Chess Olympiad. And let's take a look. e4, c6, knight c3, the two knights Caro Kann. There is a video, there is another video on this channel connected to this game from about a week ago, so check it out. Black continues with the main line pawn c5, knight f3, and black, a strong grandmaster So-Melkumyan, rated in the mid-2600s, played the main move, bishop g4. As I showed previously, there is a fun trap. Well, there are two fun traps. So fun trap number one after takes. Occasionally black might play knight d7 with the idea to prepare knight f6. And now white has a fun trap with queen e2. And of course, if black plays knight f6, this will be checkmate. There is also a similar version going backwards. If he plays knight f6 first, now queen e2 is actually the main move. And once again, knight d7 will be answered with a checkmate. And one last trap to show you is in the bishop 5 line. Bishop 5, knight g3, attacking the bishop. If the bishop drops back, we play h4. Threat of h5, trapping the bishop, because he has no squares. If black plays h6, given the bishop an escape square, we play knight e5. Our threat is to take and ruin the pawns. If the bishop drops back, we play queen h5, threatening mate. If black stops us, we don't move the queen, we play bishop c4, threatening mate. If black stops us, we drop back, and our threat is knight takes here, followed by queen takes. And white's position is much better. We have 4 pieces out. Black has 1, and it's this guy. Okay, but let's go back. Melkumyan knows chess, he knows all his traps, so he plays bishop g4. Now the main move is pawn h3, asking the bishop to decide what he is doing, and Melkumyan takes. And the reason he takes is, although we have 2 bishops, Melkumyan now plays e6, puts all his pawns on the light squares, which means our light square bishop is very much restrained, and black dark square bishop can move around easily. This is a common idea which you see in many different openings, like the English or the Nimzo-Indian, where you trade one of your bishops and then put your pawns on the squares of the color of that bishop. Okay, let's see what happens. Wesley develops, gets ready to castle. Bishop c5, black develops his bishop, stops d4. Castle, nothing special, knight d7, black develops. Wesley now decides to take, and black has a choice. You can take with this pawn, you can take with this pawn, both moves are decent. Melkumyan chooses this pawn. Okay, rook d1, because we want to play pawn d4. Knight f6 to develop and get ready to castle. d4, the bishop drops back to e7. There is an interesting question. It looks like d6 is a better square because it's not doing too much on e7. So why not d6? It looks like d6 is a very good square, but we play knight b5. And the reason we want to play knight b5, obviously we attack the bishop, but also our knight is sort of misplaced over here. It blocks this pawn, which would like to move. And if black, let's say, drops the bishop back because, well, he doesn't want to allow this trade. So bishop b8. Now we play c4, challenge the center, try to open up the position, because again, we have 2 bishops. When you have 2 bishops, you want to open the position. let's go back. This is why Melkumyan goes bishop e7. And now this will sort of start becoming a little bit more like the London. Bishop d3, that's where the bishop belongs in the London. Melkumyan castles. Bishop f4, this is the London bishop. Melkumyan comes up with an interesting idea. He doesn't like his knight here. He believes he belongs here, so knight b8, the knight repositions. Likewise, our knight does not belong here. There is absolutely nothing it's doing. So knight e2. We are also preparing to play pawn c3 and reinforce the center. Knight c6, Melkumyan improves his knight. Also, you would like to go here and trade, so pawn c3. Solid structure. Rook e8, improving the rook. Rook e1, because there was nothing that rook was doing. g6. Several ideas behind g6. One, restrain this bishop. Two, allow for your own bishop to come in here. Knight g3, opening the rook. The knight is not so amazing, but maybe we can play h4, h5 and open the position. Melkumyan plays knight d7, which is okay, opening this diagonal. And Wesley decides to try to attack. He raises the rook. Maybe we'll double rooks. Maybe in some world we will move our rook sideways and we get a nice attack. And now the position became a little bit more fun because Melkumyan plays e5. Strikes in the center. At first it looks like it's a really weird move because we are triple attacking and black is only double defending. So it looks like it's a free pawn, but it's not. Why not? Because if we take with the pawn, black moves the bishop with tempo, opens his rook, and he will get his pawn back fairly easily because now he is triple attacking this and we are only double defending. And if we start taking with the bishop, it's very similar idea. Again, knight takes, either knight, doesn't really matter. We take back, and again bishop c5, and black takes, our center collapses, black has active pieces, and black is doing quite well, which is why black played there, which is why Wesley did not take. Wesley played a fun move, bishop h6, which is a mistake, but it's not an obvious mistake. So most of you can see that black is threatening to fork. Now, we also know that Wesley So is rated almost 2800. He used to be above 2800, so he would not allow this fork. And just lose a piece. So there must be some sort of trick. Why? Black spent a couple of minutes here. And he did not play the best move. He played d4, which allowed for some really, really cool tactics. The best move is to deal with this bishop first. And we'll come back to this position in a second. But first, let's see what happened in the game, because this was kind of cool. Black plays e4. And probably black expected white to give up a piece for 2 pawns. And white has some sort of compensation. But here, there is a really, really cool tactic which Wesley unleashes, which is rook sacrifice. And the point of the rook sacrifice is after pawn takes, we don't take back. We have an incredibly powerful move, which I hope you can find. I'll pause for a second. And the beautiful, beautiful move is the queen sacrifice. Queen f7, open up the king, the sacrifice has to be accepted. If he moves to the corner, he gets mated in one move. So takes, but the point is now bishop c4. We drag the king out into the open. King f6. We take here knight e4. The king has one safe spot, king f5. Again g4. We drag the king closer to our position, king takes. Rook e1. Again, one move, king f3. And now we have a choice of checkmate. bishop d5 or rook e3. So let's get back to the game. So after rook e4, Melkumyan realized what was happening. He didn't take. By the way, let's try to understand why bishop f8 is the best move. So bishop f8 attacks our bishop for now. And the point is we can't really leave because we don't have safe squares. So we take, and only now there is c4. And the difference here is black has a lot of space and we are not getting the same sacrifice anymore because the bishop is now here. So just something interesting. At any rate, back to the game. e4 takes. Okay, Melkumyan doesn't take, he plays knight f8. But now he's just up a pawn. And Wesley converts very, very nicely. Let's just watch the rest of the game. Rook f4. Improves the rook. Double attacks the pawn. Black has to move that pawn. Either 1 or 2 squares. In the game, the pawn moves 2 squares. If it moves 1 square, we can put a rook here. And we have ideas of h4, h5. And we get to have a lot of fun. So in the game, we got pawn f5. And now Wesley plays another nice sacrifice. He sacrifices the knight. Takes. And, okay. Black king is open. Material is even, but we have a lot of pieces swarming around. And this rook is ready to come. And black rook is not playing. Black knight is too far. This is not a very pleasant position. Melkumyan played the best move, queen d6. Let's see what happens if, for example, he plays knight g6, which improves the knight, tries to protect the king. Now we invade, rook f7. And we have some really cool ideas already. Following the computer line, let's say bishop f8. Trying to trade off our bishop. We sacrifice the rook. King takes. We invade with the queen. And this becomes super fun. King moves. Queen here. We're threatening mate. Queen d7. We improve the bishop. The queen needs to stay connected to the square. If queen c7, we play bishop here to circle around. He cannot block us because this is mate. Because now the queen does not cover this square. So if queen e7, once again we got bishop g5, and the bishop circles around, and black just falls apart. So let's get back to the game. In the game we got queen d6. But now queen g4. Powerful move attacking the king. This is instructive with queen g6. Again, because we have so many pieces, we now have a simple discovery which wins the queen. So cannot block with the queen. Cannot move because there is checkmate. So you have to block with the knight. Knight g6. But now Wesley plays yet one more sacrifice. The point is to deflect the queen from the knight. If black takes, now everything falls apart. Black cannot take because he gets mated. So let's say he moves the king because we have discovery ideas. Something like bishop e4. So let's say he moves the king. Now again, we simply take the rook. We're threatening mate. And we gained back all the material which we sacrificed. And we're just up. And we're still attacking. So this cannot be accepted. Melkumyan plays queen f6. But again, we have really powerful pieces. Wesley simply plays pawn g3, just stopping any ideas. Well, not this one, but this one, stopping any ideas of queen trade. Black desperately wants to trade off some of our tagging pieces, but now rook f5, tagging the queen. The queen doesn't have a lot of good squares. went to e7, what else? If it goes to e6, we have a discovery. And this is a fun one because he cannot take with the knight because this is pinned. He cannot take with the rook because the queen falls, but you have to take with someone. So queen e6 doesn't work. Queen d6, for example, we have this check. That's not a very pleasant check. King h8 and our attack continues, our bishop circles around and we have a lot of fun. So in the game queen e7 happened, but again, very similar bishop check. King goes to the corner. This bishop circles around, bishop g5. Queen d6. And now rook f6, attacking the queen. And the other point is we can take and try to bring our queen into the attack, and this is deadly. As you can see, the best move, according to the computer, is just to give up the queen. So this is all over. Very, very nice attack by Wesley. Again, it started from a very innocent 2 knights, Caro Kann. Black played the main move, and this sort of became the London really quickly. It's not immediately obvious how, but this is why it's so useful to study various openings, because this does not look like the London, but if we go about 10 moves ahead, we now have the London structure. This bishop here, the rook has an open line, we got a queen here. This knight is usual on this square in the London, but everything else is the London. And finally, I hope you enjoyed the beautiful rook takes pawn sacrifice with the idea of further sacrificing the queen. Beautiful attacking game by Wesley. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe. I'll be back soon. Thank you.